What's good, YouTube? We're back with another video. Check me out, check me out, check me out, check me out, check me out. Today, we're gonna be looking into BrightBurn. As you guys may not know, this movie is a horror movie, of course. We're just gonna be looking into like the kill count of BrightBurn. And if you guys don't know anything about BrightBurn, it's basically like a Superman, but no, yeah, it's like Superman, but as a kid, but if you turn evil, you know what I mean? Um, he landed on a farm, I think, or something like that, and then like he just went crazy, bro. He just went crazy, and like the scenes in this movie where he was killing people, I ain't gonna cap, I ain't gonna cap. Yeah, boy, I wasn't sleeping right at night. I had to sleep with the lights on at night. Oh my gosh, I just started crazy just now. Um, yeah, let's just jump right in, bro.
Welcome to the Kill Count, where we tally up the victims in all our favorite horror movies. I'm James A. Janice, and today we're looking at BrightBurn, released in 2019. BrightBurn is the first superhero
That's a
horror
little
movie.
boy. That's a little boy right there. My thing is though,
BrightBurn
like,
is the first superhero.
if you see somebody drawing something like that, that is definitely a red flag, bro. You should seek counseling or something. Cause is this? What is this?
Horror movie I've covered on the Kill Count, but it's an ever-expanding subgenre, which only makes sense given Marvel's complete domination of the box office this past decade. In fact, BrightBurn was produced by James Gunn, the Guardian of the Guardians of the Galaxy films, and who also wrote and produced The Belko Experiment. Although James only produced
I
this
have
movie,
yet to watch the Belko Experiment. I heard that movie's good. Let me know if I should check it out.
it was written by some young guns, his brother Brian and cousin Mark. Their script essentially asks, hey, what would happen if Superman was kind of a dick? Or more specifically, what would happen if Superman had been sent to Earth as an alien sleeper agent, only to be activated as a 12-year-old and told to take over the world? BrightBurn is an okay movie, I guess. The premise is pretty interesting to take over the world. BrightBurn is...
Bro, that was his crush. And he snuck into her house through the window, and like she noticed something in like the corner, and then she saw him, and then she turned on the lights real quick, and he was gone.
Is an okay movie, I guess. The premise is pretty interesting, and I love the way it's shot by director David Yarvo Yarovesky. But the plotting feels uneven to me, and the character decisions seem kinda stupid sometimes. It doesn't help that we barely get a good sense of the characters before the plot kicks into action, which means Brandon Breyer, the central anti-superhero, becomes way too unlikable way too quickly for this story to feel tragic at all. It's a bit of wasted potential, especially since Elizabeth Banks and David Denman do such
This dude, he screwed up. I'm letting you know right now, this dude screwed up.
a great job playing Brandon's conflicted parents. But if you're just here to see a cool and gory horror take on your standard superhero origin story, well, you're in luck, Chuck, because BrightBurn is hella slick, and it's got
He murked him so fast. That was like, I didn't expect him to get killed like that.
some surprisingly graphic.
Her death was so gruesome. Her death was
Your
so
standard
gruesome.
superhero origin story, well, you're in luck, Chuck, because BrightBurn is hella slick, and it's got some surprisingly graphic deaths. I know that's what some of you are here for, so let's avoid another 8-minute intro and get straight to the kills. The movie begins in BrightBurn, Kansas, just down the road there at the Breyer farm. Inside their home,
like Superman.
Tori and Kyle
Somewhere in
Breyer
Kansas.
are trying to make a baby, and not by ringing up the stork, if you catch my meaning. Things haven't been working out for them with their trips on the Spermy Expressway, but it looks like they're about to be in luck tonight. Because something just landed in their backyard. And Freddy, you want to tell them what it is?
It's a boy!
After some home movies that show baby Stardust there growing up, we jump to 10 years later with the heaven-sent diaper dirtier, now a 12-year-old boy named Brandon, played by Jackson A. Dunn. He's still quite the stinker, hiding from his mom Tori and jumping out at her like a little monster, rah rah rah. At school, he's a smart little monster with encyclopedic answers for his science teacher's questions. That earns him derision from some of his classmates, but encouragement from others.
Don't worry.
Smart guys end up ruling the planet.
Subjugation, you say?
I never
One night,
understood
the
that,
barn
though.
on the Briar
Why
farm
do people
starts
bully people
glowing
for
up
just
more
doing
than Matthew
things?
Lewis, which causes lights to flicker and Brandon to experience scary dream voices.
Oh,
Yeah, that'll give you nightmare eyes for sure. Brandon is compelled to fall out of his second-story window, which Tori hears from downstairs. One blurry flash in front of the camera later, Tori's checking out the barn, where she finds her creepy little space baby throwing himself against a chained-up trap door and growling passwords that fail to open it. Maybe you left caps lock on, little buddy. So yeah, Brandon is apparently activated already, which is kind of a shame. We barely know who he is or what was normal for him before he intercepted an alien transmission. We do see a bit of him as a normal kid the next day, while Kyle talks about how scared he was when they first adopted
from
him.
the office? Isn't that Pam's ex or something?
But I could have used a few more scenes establishing a baseline behavior for the kid. While his dad is out, Brandon sets a new PR in mower tossing. Someone want to test that kid out for juicing? Damn! And don't look now, upturned mower. But thanks to the return of those alien whisper voices, you about to get these hands. Or at least one hand, which is plenty enough to stop the blade on its own. Looks like this adolescent boy is gonna have to be extra careful to avoid death grip syndrome.
I paid for my own college, so I knew I'd have to start accumulating a lot of money,
Let's
paying
cut to the
student
chase,
loans,
man. Let's
paying...
get out of here.
Brandon has a jump cut filled birthday celebration at a local diner where he and his parents are joined by Tori's sister Marilee and her husband Noah, who's played by Matt Jones of Breaking Bad fame, and who, for a while, was also part of an amazing musical improv show in LA called Opening Night. Noah gives Brandon a rifle, but his father immediately confiscates it, and we're left to assume that Brandon's indignant reaction is very out of place for him.
Give it to me.
Whoa.
I'm sorry, what'd you just say to me?
I said, give it to me.
But no one
Oh my gosh. Bro's moving like he needs that gun. Are you serious, bro? You know what you have. You have super strength, super speed, and you have whatever Superman has, like a laser vision or something. I don't know, man. But like, you don't need that though.
seems to notice the electrical flickers going on there, not even as they correspond with Brandon's emotions or arm movements, so Tori and Kyle just take Brandon home, embarrassed. They express concern about their son,
Worry about him. And getting older, changing.
but not once during this entire conversation do they ever acknowledge that they found him in a frickin' crater. The whole time they're talking about him, it's like they don't even know that's a thing. It's insane. The next morning, before they head out for a family camping trip, they face a couple of strange hangups. First, Brandon's all of a sudden got an appetite for silverware, and second,
what?
they find his stash of smut, which is mostly PG-13 stuff, until they get to pictures of intestines and shit. Careful there, Brandon. That'll get you age restricted. The pictures prompt Kyle to give
I
Brandon the
watched the
sex
movie, guys, but like, it's been so long, I can't really remember what happened throughout the movie. So.
talk, which goes just as awkwardly as that conversation usually does.
It was okay to touch it or play with it.
Wait.
With what?
With
Wait, is this the gun that was for his birthday? Why did they give him a gun for his birthday? He's like 13, 80, 12.
your penis.
Okay, maybe this one's a little extra awkward. That night, Brandon takes it upon himself to act on his urges, disappear from the campsite, and pay a visit to Caitlin, that nice girl from school. I gotta admit, his abilities are a little bit confusing to me here. Caitlin wakes up to find her laptop open and playing music, and after closing it, confused, and walking back towards her bed, the laptop is suddenly reopened and playing music again. So is Brandon just like super ultra fast and opening her laptop at invisible speeds? Or is he telekinetic? I don't know, but he is hiding behind your curtains, little girl, so watch out!
No,
Or, wait a minute,
he was
is
definitely
he?
using
Well,
switch.
he's not anymore, but Caitlin did get a good look at who was back there.
Brandon Breyer.
Good thing BB's got a watertight alibi. He was just out there peeing in the woods.
Bro, if you just don't say hi, bro, don't be
But
staring at me
Caitlin
like
did
that,
get
bro.
a good look at who was back there.
Brandon
Look at his face.
Breyer.
Good thing BB
Bro has no life in his eyes at all, bro. If you don't crack a smile and tell a joke and laugh it off or something, bro.
He's got a watertight alibi. He was just out there peeing in the woods. No big, Mom. Brandon's behavior grows more and more aberrant. Like, sure, there's nothing that weird about doodling superhero costumes or logos with your initials, but when you start standing in front of the chicken coop and staring at the poultry all night, that's a good sign of being cockadoodle cray-cray. That point is proven when Kyle wakes up to find all the family's egg layers dead and dismembered. Tori dismisses her husband and says the chicken killer was a wolf, despite Kyle's solid line of reasoning.
Babe, a wolf can't do this. It can't rip a freaking door up and
Oh,
break
yeah, I remember now. Throughout this whole entire movie, he sold at the end, but she was delusional. She was freaking delusional the whole entire movie until like the last 12 minutes.
Fuck! And this is the first of many scenes where I'm like, what the fuck, Tori? Don't ignore the facts here. During a trust exercise at school, Caitlin causes Brandon to fall because she thinks he's a pervert, and that gets him mighty mad. So when she's forced to help him up, Brandon breaks her hand. Oh shit, he fucking wrecks it!
Oh my
Erica,
gosh.
he said he's sorry.
What the fuck, Tori? Sorry's not gonna fuse those splintered bones back together. Brandon gets suspended from school, but to add insult to that sentencing, Caitlin's mother, Erica, makes sure to insult his adopted status.
Do you even know who his real mother is?
Brandon Breyer will remember that. Tori and Kyle have another conversation of concern, only this time they finally acknowledge Brandon's exogenesis when Tori tells Kyle she found him sleepwalking in the barn.
Did he find it?
But he was tugging at the trapdoor.
Then Kyle starts freaking out and mentions that Brandon's never bled once in his entire life, a fact that probably should have been mentioned before we were already through a third of this movie. Later that night, Tori does some celestial research and Brandon starts hearing voices again.
You should go. You should go.
Props to the sound
I ain't gonna
design.
lie. I feel like at this age, like at this point in age, you know what I'm saying? I feel like you have to like tell him, you know. I feel like it was perfect time to tell him. He was like 13. He should know about like the thing. But like at the same time though, like at what age do you think it's right to tell him he's not from here? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
For this movie, by the way. It's some of the best I've heard in a while. Brandon is drawn to a red glow in the barn and begins to repeat an alien voice growling at him. When Tori finds Brandon, he's floating midair above the open trap door. When he falls, he cuts his hand on an object down there, and that makes him bleed for the first time in his life. That moment would probably feel more important if we hadn't just learned about the bleeding thing like 2 minutes ago. The kryptonite to Brandon's high armor class is the meteorite from the beginning, and the discovery of that space crib leads to a conversation about where he came from. Answer? That rock right there. Tori tells Brandon that she thinks of him as a gift straight from the universe, but he gets all alien angry about having been lied to his whole life, so he storms away from her and starts to break stuff.
Like I said, at some point in time, you must tell him. I feel like the sooner the better.
Just one of those days, you know, when you don't want to wake up. He leaves the house, verbally repeating the alien message he just learned from that space rock until he's able to decipher its meaning.
Take the world. Take the world.
And 1 and 2 and laser eyes and good, grand, keep it bright. Before going to take the world, Brandon stops by Caitlin's room again and delivers the scariest manifesto a young girl could ever hear.
I'm very special. You're one of the only people in the world that knows how special I am.
Bro, you literally broke your crush's arm, bro. You literally broke it. I don't know what you're thinking coming to her house with some, what do you got, flowers or something? Bro, she does not want to mess with you, bro. Trust me, bro.
Someday, they will all know.
Caitlin says that her mom told her not to talk to him, but Brandon tells her he's got a plan for that. Don't worry, Caitlin, he's gone now. And you know what? We can just drop your character entirely too. Yeah, we won't be needing you for the rest of the movie. Thanks. Instead, Brandon moves on to her mother, Erica, who's currently closing up shop at the local diner. Things get spooky in a hurry, with weird symbols appearing on the windows and the ceiling lights flickering overhead. Oh, wait, did I say flickering? Because I meant bursting open. Oh, and she got it in her eye.
Bro, oh my gosh, bro. When I seen that, my eyes started watering. Oh my gosh, bro. And no. You know this movie isn't real, not because of the fact that, like, this alien kid came down and he's like evil or anything. That's I mean, that's number one. But, like, it's not real because, like, the fact that she's pulling this piece of shard out her eye, bro. Oh my gosh. That's no human beings doing that. Nah, they're covering their eye with their hand, and just going to the hospital right away.
In an excruciatingly gross scene, Erica picks the glass shard out of her eye. It's totally gross. The experience leaves her seeing half red, which is a pretty cool effect, and with her inhibited vision, she has a hard time seeing the costumed individual appearing in various places all around her. She runs into the freezer and locks herself inside, but Brandon just huffs and puffs and lasers the door down. Erica gets one final look at her tormentor before Brandon kills her with a jump scare. Yeah, that's the way this movie's effects look. They're fine, I guess. The next morning...
Cool.
Build industry skills at Universal Technical Institute, where hands-on training...
Brandon comes downstairs and tells his parents that everything's perfectly all right now. He's fine. He's all fine here now. Thank you. How are you? Although his suspension is over now, Brandon still has to see his school's counselor, who just so happens to be his Aunt Marilee. Wow, talk about a rigged-ass system of justice. Brandon alarms Marilee with his talk of being superior
Real
to
talk, no amount of therapy or counseling can save this boy. Real talk. He talks to aliens in his head. There's no way you could get into an alien and talk about it, bro. Bro's being possessed by nighttime comes.
Everyone else, and his total lack of remorse for what he did.
Sometimes, when bad things happen to people, it's for a good reason.
That's a yikes from Marilee, who tells Brandon that she's gonna have to tell his parents and the sheriff about his troubling behavior. Not good, Brandon, especially since the sheriff's already investigating Erica's disappearance from the diner. Aw, no, and he's getting sexy with the windows and finding those BBs everywhere? Marilee gets a house visit from Brandon that night, who tells her that she's not allowed to speak to the sheriff about what he said in school.
It's just not good for anyone.
Marilee is like, dude, you're making it worse. Get the fuck off my porch, and sends him away. But then, very stupidly, and in my opinion, unrealistically, she does not call her sister to tell her that Brandon was at her house. Instead, she just decides to go to bed, never noticing that Brandon's standing back there.
Weird. What the actual? Okay, I ain't gonna lie. Boy, you doing too much. You doing too much now. I ain't gonna cap. Listen. If I was the aunt, like he said, automatically calling the mom. Cause, like, this boy 13 or 12. And it's like, what, past your bedtime? Are you serious? Man.
They're looking like a stranger. At a bar, Kyle laments to his buddies that his son might actually be a monster, before Noah takes off and heads back home. When he comes through the front door, the noise scares Brandon out of the hallway and into the ceiling corner of Badger's bathroom. But his invisispeed isn't quite fast enough to keep Noah from catching a glimpse of him as he de-Batmans.
Oh, shit!
Noah finds Brandon in his closet, and Matt Jones reminds us all how effortlessly funny he is.
What the fuck are you doing in my closet wearing this creepy mask? It's not creepy.
He tries to haul Brandon outside so he can take him back home to his parents, but Brandon would much rather put his mask back on and play a game of glowy eyes. Haha, Uncle Noah, you lose. Brandon disappears, and Noah gets into his car and drives off. To where? I don't know. He could have just gone back inside his house, where his sleeping wife was, and locked the doors. But instead, he decides to go for a joyride. Brandon brings his ride.
He's probably going to his dad's place, to his parents' place or something, and tell him about the kid. But, like, low key, at the same time though, he could have, like, easily made a phone call though.
A little less joy, and the impact causes his car to stall out in the road. After some scary floaty stuff and a bunch of negatives from Noah,
I'm not gonna lie, this death was pretty bad.
No.
His vehicle begins to rise from the road, ass end up. It is absolutely terrifying to see from Noah's perspective, and you really feel the power of the impact when the vehicle is dropped and hits the ground. The head-on collision with the ground doesn't kill Noah right away, but it does break his jaw right off. It is a nasty marriage of sight and sound as Noah slowly gurgles to death, and he finally dies after Brandon stares him down for a while impassively. And as if dying wasn't bad enough for Noah, Brandon then uses his blood to draw his shitty little edgelord logo on the ground. Brandon comes home to his very worried parents, and it doesn't calm them down at all when they see that he's missing a shirt. What's up with that, Bran?
I was playing soccer.
Oh, okay. He was just on Team Skins. It's cool. Having plopped out some bullshit straight from his mouth, Brandon goes up to his room, leaving his parents so flustered.
Yo, these parents need to be more parenting, because like, there's no way your son has been gone all night. Is it daytime or nighttime, actually? Was he wearing the same clothes last night? I feel like this is the next day. I can't remember. But still, though, I feel like, nah, these parents aren't parenting right now, bro. They're not parenting.
They
right
talk openly about his backstory.
Maybe we need to talk to somebody. He needs to, like a specialist.
What? And say what to him? Hello, this is our son. We found him in a fucking spaceship in the woods.
Kyle says that this is all their fault, that they should have done something a long time ago, and
Ikey.
then goes to bed angry. You should never do that, my man, because that's a good way to have freaky dicky nightmares. Like the one where your bedroom's in a forest, or the one where your wife adopts a space
Wait,
baby.
yo, you gotta see
like
that.
the
Yo, his pill.
You should
is
never
so-
do that, my man, because
His
that's a
pill
good
is
way to
drugs.
have freaky dicky nightmares. Like the one where your bedroom's in a forest, or the one where your wife adopts a space baby. Yeah,
Don't you guys hate it when you're sleeping and then like you guys like wake up like around like probably like 4:20 a.m. and like you just in a pool of sweat and your shirt's wet, your pants wet, your face wet, your back is wet, your belly's wet, everything's just wet, and like you just get up, take off your shirt, and it's like so wet that it's like trouble to take it off because it's like attached to your body, and you just like freaking throw it across the room, and then you do something with your pants, and you get butt naked in the room, in your bed. Yeah, it never happened to me though, but I hate when that happens. So yeah, I mean like I hear people do it and they say they hate that when it happens.
that one's always messy. Some evil glowy baby eyes wake Kyle up, where he's greeted with a phone
Bro, got that
call
vampire
from Marilee at the hospital, who tells the Bryars that Noah's dead. When she mentions that Brandon was at her house shortly before it happened, Tori and Kyle grow concerned, and over an off-brand box of Pumbaa O's the next morning, they confront him. Brandon is nonchalant when they tell him his uncle is dead, which causes Kyle to pretty much openly accuse him of foul play.
Yeah.
Bullshit, he is fucking lying.
Brandon goes to
Bro, at least he didn't hold back. He didn't hold back. You know what I'm saying? At least he didn't talk about it like in it, like behind his back or something. You know?
peace out, and when Kyle tries to
Bro, the dad was so on point though. The dad had the right mentality. The only person that screwed up for real was the mom. The mom really screwed up for real because if she told the dad what he's like his weakness was, this bro could have saved more lives.
stop him, Brandon shows his dad, who's the new Superman of the house, and throws him backwards through a wall. While Brandon's showering off his rage, Kyle jump cut searches his room and finds a shirt tucked behind a dresser, hidden because it's covered in blood. Better hide that discovery from your little Anthony Fremont there, Kyle. He shows Tori the shirt, but again, she won't listen.
She's mad in denial. Come on, everyone, say it. The Nile is a river in Egypt, and she's swimming in it.
To a word of it.
How could Brandon have killed Noah and then made it look like a car
Who knows what
accident?
kind of weird shit he could do?
What the fuck, Tori? Your
what I'm
son's
saying.
a goddamn alien. Start putting the pieces together here. Instead, she leaves Kyle in a huff and lets the movie get back to its half-baked cop plot, where the perfunctory sheriff finally notices that Brandon's symbol was on both the diner windows and the ground by Noah's accident. Kyle has a patriarchal cry as he takes a walk down memory lane to a time when Brandon was younger and much less murdery. In bed that night, he comforts Tori and tells her that he's gonna take Brandon hunting over the weekend to show that he still loves him. Aw, that's nice. After they leave the next day,
she
the
definitely
sheriff
does.
arrives at the Breyer house to ask Tori if she recognizes the symbol he keeps finding everywhere.
Doesn't that look like a BB, maybe? As in
Brandon Bryan.
Doesn't look like anything to me, Sheriff. She sends him
He looks
away,
just
but is
like
worried enough to look through Brandon's stuff, where she finally comes face to face with reality. Yeah, Tori, your kid
Took you about
sucks.
time.
You've been enabling the little bastard this whole time. He's become a little bastard with big ambitions, too. All because you just couldn't fathom the idea of Brandon being a monster. But Kyle's been fathoming that idea for quite some time now, so he decides to take things into his own hands during the hunting trip. He sets his son.
This would have been the perfect moment. The perfect moment for, like, to actually knock off the kid, bro. You know what I'm saying? If the mom told this dude what his weakness was, they could have formulated a plan, a thought out plan to end this kid's life. You know what I'm saying? They would have gotten the bullet, no, a medal from the bullet. No. They would have gotten a bullet, that same material from the ship that he was born in, or brought to Earth, of course. And then he would have shot him right there in the back of the head. Bop. Put him down, just like of Mice and Men with Lenny. You know what I mean?
Son up for a look at the rabbits moment, but even though he lands a headshot, it doesn't even begin to phase the kid. Oh shit, you fucked up, Kyle. You have fucked up now. Begin to phase the kid. Oh shit, you fucked up, Kyle. You have fucked up now. Kyle spams R, but before the reload action is complete, Brandon disappears, only to reappear seconds later in his little homemade costume. He plays a round of Quidditch near his dad and knocks him to the ground, then kills his Papa Dearest by friggin' laser beaming him through the face. We had to get a laser beam kill in here at some point, and I couldn't have asked for a better one than this. Solid shit.
Did gaming take over your life? You're not alone, and it might not be your fault. The makers of games like
all go away. It will all go away, guys. Trust.
Tori tries to call her husband, but it's too late. Kyle is gone forever, and Brandon's already home again. He terrifies Tori by shaking the house and doing all the stuff you probably saw in the trailer, like flying in and out through the walls a couple of times. Yeah, you get a good look at that floating mistake out there, Tori.
Yeah.
She calls 911, which brings the sheriff and a deputy to her house. But as she comes outside to get their help, the sheriff is air tackled into oblivion.
But you see, the thing is though, right? I feel like his death wasn't that bad though. Hear me out. Because it happened so fast. You know? It wasn't as slow and painful as like the other people. So.
Leaving very little behind for anyone to see. Damn, that was a sudden death. It's kind of awesome. The deputy sends Tori upstairs to hide under the bed, then is killed herself after Brandon appears behind her and slams her all to Kingdom Come in the background of this nifty shot. To show his work when he's finished, he tosses her corpse aside. Tori keeps herself quiet in the face of her son's floating feet.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't know whose death was worse so far. Me personally, I think the worst death Bro, I don't know which one's the worst death. Low key, it might be the diner girl, the girl's mom, with the glass in the eye, bro. Oh my gosh, that still gets to me. Like my eyes are watering again. Oh my gosh, my eye. Either that one, or, cause I feel like when he killed his dad, I feel like that was a fast death though. I feel like that was a fast death, and the first cop, that was a fast death too. And the second cop, I feel like her death was pretty bad as well. I'm not gonna lie. But I think I don't know. I'll let y'all decide. But I think the first one, the diner girl, the diner mom,
and eventually sneaks away from him by hanging out the upstairs window. When she falls, she cuts herself, which reminds her of Brandon's similar injury in the barn a few days ago. And realizing that his space crib comet may be the secret to defeat.
My thing is though, why is he going after the mom? Wait, did she call the cops? If she called the cops, then I understand why he's chasing, like he's trying to kill her now. But I can't remember though.
Meeting him, she runs off towards the barn. Real talk though, I don't know how she gets there when Brandon's already floating in the air and has been shown to be invisibly fast. But get there she does. And after seeing Erica's corpse and a bunch of BBs on the wall,
Oh, what is? Bro, I'm not gonna lie, I do not remember
fast.
that.
But get there she does. And after seeing Erica's corpse and a bunch of
Erica's corpse? Who's Erica? Wait.
there she does. And after seeing Erica's corpse and a bunch of
Bro, I don't remember who Erica is.
BBs on the wall, she breaks off a convenient shard of spaceship with which to stab her son. She crawls out of the barn basement and calls out Brandon's name, then convinces the creepy little Superboy to calm down for a goddamn second and listen to his mother.
I still believe you were a blessing that fell to this earth.
Her words of matriarchal love seem to assuage the young lad, who tells his mom that he wants to be a good boy, he promises. But he can't do that if he's got a shard of metal in his back, so knock it the fuck.
Not gonna lie, she dead sold here. She low-key sold. I'm saying that because, like, I feel like she should have bum rushed him. Me personally, I think she should have bum rushed him instead of, like, saying, you know, trying to feed him with this lies thing. And if not, I feel like she should have waited low-key a little bit more time. Like, you know what I'm saying? If he went for the kill, he went for the kill. But at least, you know what I'm saying? You try to plan it out strategically. I feel like he could have dead seen through your lies with that move, though. I mean, I would have.
Fuck off, Mom. You're not helping. God. Tori tries to apologize, but it's too late. Brandon cries out and flies up, and away, taking his mom high into the night sky to show her a whole new world. Sorry, to kill her, because that's what he does. It's completely cold-blooded, but he just holds his mom out and drops her. At least she'll have plenty of time during freefall to think about how she shouldn't have tried adopting an alien space baby. Oh shit, y'all. The movie's almost over and the body count isn't enormous. I'm so sorry, all you big number lovers. This must be so difficult for you. Here, how about we add an entire goddamn plane to the count? Because Brandon sees one in the sky and apparently just blows it up. Since it's wrecked.
Nah, they were dead. Like, he was like, the director was like, okay, guys, we only got like what? We only got like 6 bodies. How we go? Let's just beat up real quick. Yeah, just throw a plane in there. Just throw a plane in there.
Package is seen the next morning. Oh hey, and listen to these nice reporters here.
You know,
They're doing my count.
You remind me of you guys watch Invincible? I'm gonna say it's Train if you don't know. I mean, if you do know, I wanted the train scene.
Counting job for me.
No survivors among the 268 passengers on board.
Way to hook me up, Final Destination style. And just like in Final Destination, I know that the number they say is of the plane's passengers, but I think in these casualty reports that would include the crew, right? Like the crew members were still passengers on the plane in one sense of the word, you know? I don't know. All I do know is that Brandon Breyer is a bad guy, because after a last-minute title card, that dope-ass Billie Eilish song
Bro got rewarded with eating a cookie, bro. Bro said after a hard work, bro.
Plays over credits to confirm it. We see some more news reports, and yes, one of them shows a building collapse, but I can't count kills there because it's literally impossible. Besides, maybe the building was somehow evacuated beforehand? You don't know, okay? The movie ends with Michael Rooker as a YouTube conspiracy theorist ranting about other mythical figures in this universe, like the Crimson Bolt from Super, the 2010 movie made by producer James Gunn. Thanks to Brandon Breyer, how many people's life forces are no longer burning bright? Let's find out and... Wait, what? Get to the numbers. Get to the numbers.
Ah! I ain't glad that was the good end of the video.
By my count, 274 people died in BrightBurn. Other than the 268 plane victims, we had an even ratio of 3 guy and 3 girl victims. So I bet you can barely even see them in that pie chart, huh? With a runtime of 91 minutes, that left us with a kill on average about every 20 seconds. But, I mean, you know. I'll give the golden chainsaw for coolest kill to Uncle Noah. The shot from inside the car as it drops straight towards the ground is terrifying. And obviously, the guy's jaw falling off was sick nasty. No machete for lamest kill will go to Erica, who got super jumps.
This was dull in their opinion? okay, I mean, okay, the jump scare, I understand that, but I feel like, bro, it's the suspense though, bro. I feel like the suspense of that shard hitting your eye. Maybe I'm just looking too deep into it. The shard hitting the eye. Maybe that's just it. Maybe the eye is just irking me. You know. All right, if it wasn't, if the glass wasn't hitting her eye, and it was just that death, then I understand that. But like, still though, it's the eye, bro. It's the eye. It's the eye.
Scared to death. And that's it. BrightBurn came out in 2019, and although it kinda sets up for a sequel with that Michael Rooker bit at the end, I'm not sure if we'll ever see one thanks to a middling box office performance. Until next time, I'm James A.
I was excited for
This has been the Kill Count. Thanks a lot for watching this Kill Count. I want to thank some patrons like Club and Fang.
Alright guys, thank you for staying tuned and watching this whole entire video and seeing it through. I appreciate it if you guys like, comment, and subscribe. And let me know down in the comment section below on what videos I should react to next. Thank you, and I'll see you guys in the next one.